Welcome back to Sunday Nation. Earlier this week, I was in Selma, Alabama, joining my dear friend and civil rights hero, Dr. Bernard Lafayette, who was one of the leading leaders of the civil rights movement. Every year, the city of Selma recognizes in the month of May, Dr. Bernard Lafayette Day, which is organized by the city itself, the historic Tabernacle Baptist Church in Selma, and the Selma Center for Nonviolence, Truth, and Reconciliation. And of course, Dr. Lafayette is a scholar in nonviolence. It was an honor to be with him in Selma, to join the many activities that were held to honor his incredible legacy here in this nation. Dr. Lafayette was one of the original freedom riders. He was the national coordinator of the 1968 Poor People's Campaign, and of course he was also a roommate of the late civil rights hero, the late congressman from Georgia, John Lewis. Dr. Lafayette has done a lot. A voting rights pioneer, has done a lot to advance the rights of black people in this nation. In fact, he's a globe traveler. He travels around the world teaching the philosophy of nonviolence. And it's great to see that the city of Selma, the cradle of civil rights, sets aside every year in the month of May to recognize his incredible contributions to the movement for civil rights, one of the greatest movements in human history. Dr. Lafayette, who is an octogenarian in his 80s, still continues to influence the next generation of leaders, still continues to speak truth to power, and still continues to train young people in the business of nonviolence. In fact, in Selma this week, he was, as he always saying, connecting it to the next generation of leaders. He was involved in a teaching with young people about the philosophy of nonviolence. It's great to see that decades after men like him, and of course the late Harry Belafonte and others, stood up for the rights of black people in this nation. And decades later, his contributions are being recognized from the very city where he took great pains in registering black people to vote, in standing for the rights of black people in the very city of Selma, which has always been the cradle of the civil rights movement. For me, it was like a pilgrimage, suddenly joining a man of his stature, a man who has demonstrated time and time again that black humanity matters, and that has been the sum total of his life. When we come back from the break, more here from Dr. Bernard Lafayette. We'll be right back.